Hi guys. I'm on a roll this week. So many car videos might be annoying to some. Some of y'all might like it, but this would be a good video to listen only. So I'm not going to react to anything or anything like that. I want to talk to you guys about Love Meg today. I've been talking to several of y'all on Instagram about this, and there's a common concern. So I want to kind of catch you guys up on what's been going on with her. Love Meg is an influencer that I have covered in rotation alongside other influencers. So most of y'all clicking on this video will know who she is. Love Meg is someone who, as far as her content, she's kind of like Brianna Kay. I couldn't care less about these cleaning vloggers and people that do normal lifestyle content, about cleaning hacks and organization, to-do lists, all this kind of stuff. The reason that Love Meg and Brianna Kay have both come onto my radar as a commentary channel is because of the way that they interact with their subscribers, the lengths that they're willing to go to obtain extra money from subscribers, and on top of it, they also vlog their kids. When it comes to her content as a whole, fine. You know, if you want to clean your house and vlog it, that's amazing. But what I've seen a lot of times is these influencers that do this kind of content, they get a little too arrogant, a little too conceited, and that's when you start to see this other side of them. And usually, in my opinion, when someone shows you that other side of them, that's just who they truly are. They've just found the courage to show you who they are. So if someone is greedy and they're showing you that they're greedy, that's probably who they always were. They were just better at masking it for a while. If someone is a bitch and snaps off all the time, then that's probably who they are. It's kind of that whole idea of like the mask slipping. But either way, in this video, I want to focus, I'm going to focus heavily on what I've heard from a lot of y'all, and that is the issue of her dogs. I've received so much shit from people, Love Meg fans, random people that find my video talking about her, saying that it's none of my business or I'm overreacting. If I see a child or a person or an animal being mistreated by their caregivers, I'm going to make a video about it. Why are you, as a viewer, expecting silence on this topic when it comes to, in this situation, dogs not being properly cared for by their owner? Now, if you want to flip the script, and if I was blatantly mistreating my dog on camera, do you think that anybody would be quiet about that? No, they wouldn't, and I would deserve to be called out because I mistreated my animal. I take caregiving for innocent souls very seriously. And I don't think that there should be an expectation to turn the other cheek or not say anything when it comes to stuff like this. I think that Love Meg and Justin are awful, awful dog owners. Now I'm going to run through some of the points that I have here, and then we will focus more on the issue of the dogs. First things first, they are back in the US after being in Europe for just 4 very short months. Justin, who's Love Meg's husband, still claims that he is a digital nomad as of today, according to his Instagram bio, which I just thought was funny. Now, I want to talk about some of the dropped projects that Love Meg and Justin have been a part of recently. I look at dedication and drive a lot online, and you'll see these influencers kind of start all of these different side projects as ways to generate more followers, revenue, attention, and then they'll just kind of like drop dead in the water. And I think Love Meg and Justin have quite a few, so let's go over them. First things first, his travel planning page has not been active since May of 2022. Their Mysteries Abroad podcast is dead. There's been no posts since January of this year, and that's also when it was started. Abundantly Meg is dead in the water as well. No post since December of 2022. The only thing that Meg has started and kept up with is her lovemeg.video site. And that's because I think she does have a handful of people that are, have paid their dues, and she feels like she has to give them something or else everything is going to implode and she doesn't want to get a normal job. So lovemeg.video is still somewhat active, even though she's not giving people the content that she promised. She is still posting videos on there because we all know that she is just so scared of YouTube. She's scared of the criticism. She's scared of people having an opinion about her. So she just posts on her little echo chamber. So that is the only project that they have picked up that they have kept up with. Now, moving on, I did happen to notice when I was looking through who Meg follows on Instagram, both of our kids have their own Instagram channel, not channels, pages, which I found kind of interesting. Neither of them are really active or super up to date or anything like that, but why are we, even if it's a parent-run account, like y'all know how I feel, why are we having kids with their own Instagram pages? I think it's really weird. It's inviting people to build a parasocial bond with your children, and I think that it's creepy and weird. So I wanted to note that. I didn't know that until today when I was looking. We have Justin, who still has digital nomad in his Instagram bio. In Meg's bio, she still claims that they are, quote, world travelers, even though they only lasted 4 months. And she did do a photo dump from Orlando, Florida. They were in Disney World, just a couple days ago. And her caption was, "Gratitude. We're so thankful that we were able to do that." Again, even though it was such a short period of time that they did. She shared a bunch of photos, and then she also shared that they are waiting for their new house to be finished so that they can move into their new home. Now, as Meg has done historically, she does have her comments limited on all of her Instagram posts. So, again, it ties back to the echo chamber. Nobody should have any opinion unless it's stroking her ego and giving her money, but I'm not surprised by that at all. Now, the thing that people have really picked up on is since they have returned to the States, there has been zero word or update or video that I have seen personally showing their dogs, giving an update about the dogs. Are the dogs okay? Are they even in the States with Meg and Justin? And considering that her dogs have been such a large part of her presence, you can't get upset about people inquiring about your dogs. You made them a part of your internet presence. People are curious. People are concerned. And I don't think that they should be barked at because they're worried about your dogs. Clearly, you have subscribers who care more about your dog's well-being than you guys do. I've taken some notes regarding flying with dogs, and I've touched on these before, but just in case anyone needs to be reminded as to why I would be upset along with a lot of other people regarding her and her dogs, especially poor Molly. Now, I'm always going to say poor Molly because number one, I know it pisses Meg off big time. And number two, it's how I feel. It is poor Molly. She is a senior dog who should have never, ever, ever been put in the bottom of that aircraft and taken over to Germany in the first place. And that is my opinion as absolutely an insane dog lover. Call me crazy. Now, I want to read this, so I'm going to be looking down, but stick with me. This is insightful. So, it says, how stressful is flying for dogs? Flying is an incredibly stressful experience for all dogs, but it can be especially upsetting for elderly dogs as well as pups with health or behavioral challenges. Think about it. Flying removes pets from the surroundings they are most comfortable and familiar with. then forces them into a situation with loud noises, bright lights, and thousands of people. A dizzying array of new smells, changes in air pressure and cabin temperature, and limited access to places where they can use the bathroom. Dogs who must fly in the cargo hold are away from you, their favorite person, in a scary environment. How dare Meg put Molly in that situation? It still makes me so angry. In addition, consider whether your dog will be able to participate in all the activities you have planned once you arrive. If the destination is somewhere where the pup will be alone inside all day, boarding or hiring a dog sitter may be a better option to consider rather than subjecting the pet to the stress of flying, says Jennifer Bruns, a veterinarian. Unless you have a really good reason for bringing your pet, it's probably best to leave them behind. You might feel bummed out for a few days, but it's almost certainly better for your pet in the long run. Consider hiring a pet sitter, asking a trusted friend or family member your pet already knows to watch your dog, or boarding them in a licensed facility. Or if your budget and schedule allows and your pet tolerates the car, then you can, basically go on a road trip instead. Meg, they didn't even last 4 months. I said from the get-go, why not leave Molly with a trusted, friend or a close family member that she knows, see what it's like, because they didn't even last 4 months. You big dummies. The bottom line is, before you book a trip, think long and hard about whether it's essential to bring your dog along for the journey. In general, I recommend not flying with a pet unless it's absolutely necessary. Justine Lee said, a veterinary expert for Pumpkin Pet Insurance. Ideally, pets should not fly unless an owner is moving permanently. And then some of the health risks for dogs when flying. It says, no form of transportation is entirely risk-free, as anyone who's experienced in-flight earaches knows all too well. There are health risks involved for both humans and dogs. The difference is your four-legged friend can't tell you he's not interested in flying the friendly skies. That's why it's important for pet owners to weigh the pros and the cons before booking a ticket. So is it cruel to take a dog on the plane? It depends on your pup. Just like humans, some pets are good travelers and others they'd prefer to stay home. If your dog shows signs of anxiety, such as excessive panting or irrational fear when you board the plane, you might not want to go through with a flight ever again. And it goes on to share that anxiety. When it comes to planning an airline trip with your pet, there are lots of considerations. It's important to remember that not all dogs are suited for airline travel and the stress that comes with it, especially when they have to ride in cargo, which is what Meg did to her dogs. Overseas trips and long flights with multiple layovers can be anxiety-inducing for both you and your pet. And there have been cases of pets dying during flights, so it's crucial that you're prepared. Planes can be traumatizing for dogs because they are full of loud noises, changes in air pressure and temperature, tons of people, and smells, and they're not used to the general discomfort. Throw in the fact that now your dog has limited opportunities to relieve itself, and while flying with a dog is not exactly a walk in the park. And especially when it comes to senior dogs, obviously you don't have to be know everything about dogs to know that once dogs get a little bit older, they need increased bathroom breaks. They need to go out sometimes every few hours, depending on the dog. So being on a flight from New York to frickin' Germany, even though it's nonstop, it absolutely had its risks. And even if you give your dog, the anti-anxiety medication and all of this kind of stuff, and, supposedly their vet cleared everything, my whole point is they didn't even last 4 months. So they were hopping around from Airbnb to Airbnb over there, leaving the dogs at home. And now they had to come back. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? And it also goes over some of the temperature regulation issues, ear discomfort, and it finishes by saying it's worth noting that pregnant dogs and senior dogs are at more risk when flying. If you have an older dog, consider asking your veterinarian to do a geriatric blood panel before the flight to make sure there are no underlying complications. And to my knowledge, I know that Meg and Justin had the vet clear the dog, but were the right blood tests done? And what did the vet say about coming back in 4 months? You know, there were just so many red flags that I saw as a fellow dog owner. And like I said in the beginning of the video, there should not be an expectation for silence when these types of things are playing out on the internet. Stop expecting silence. Stop expecting people to keep their opinions to themselves, because this is internet society. If you're going to put it online, people are going to react to it, respond to it, have opinions, have not so nice opinions. That's just part of putting your stuff online. So if you don't want opinions, keep it the fuck off the internet. How about that? But I really do hope that her dogs are okay. I don't know why she's being so quiet about it. Why aren't the dogs in any Instagram stories? Like, what's going on? You're the one that made them a large part of the Love Meg brand. And now they're missing and you're not saying anything. So people are concerned. People are very worried. And they have every right to be. Like, I have incorporated my dog into part of, my videos because I know that people like to see him. And if, for a month straight, I didn't mention him, you guys didn't see him, all of this kind of stuff, like, I'm going to get some questions like, hey, what's going on with your dog? Is everything okay? And those are just people that are simply concerned. That's all that it is. And from the get-go, my commentary about Love Meg, with her putting the dogs in cargo and doing all of this kind of stuff, my concerns came from a place of well-being. They weren't malicious. I am an insane dog lover, and me being an insane dog lover and having a little bit of common sense, I could see that what she was doing wasn't in the best interest of her dog. And as far as the trust thing goes, you can tell me that 2 different veterinarians cleared this dog and all of this kind of stuff, but I also don't believe you. So either way, I don't know what she's going to do. I don't really care what she's going to do, but I would like to know that her dogs are okay, bare minimum. And that's how I feel about it. So I wanted to put this video out for you guys. I'm concerned. So either way, I think a lot of things that I come across online concern me, and that's just the best way to describe where my content comes from. It usually is coming from a place of concern and well-being. That's it. It's not malicious. It's not here to, bring out a pitchfork or anything like that. Usually. I do think that, some people have really fucked up on the internet, but that's a different topic. So either way, more content coming. I've had such a busy week, so thank you all for your patience. But either way, that's going to be it for now. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.